Time is the one thing that can work against us. Time is something we can find if we are planning. But time can also flee away when we have distractions. And basically, time is the element when it comes to productivity, as in doing the one thing that you love to do most, and taking one step at a time. For those who have missed it, I did my 3-day challenge, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I told you, last weekend of the month, I am doing my challenge. And yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm going to do something else with it. And then I asked around, like, hey, would you like to be on the live? And it was said, well, you know what? If you send a link, then I can comment, which is good. But this is actually what happened. And that's why I'm recording this now, because consistency told me, hey, you still need to create that post for Instagram. So here I am. So what happened was a number of things. I wanted to get up in time to do certain things, but I had worked through the night because of day 3 of the challenge, which meant that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm giving myself a few hours to sleep. And then when it's still daylight, I'm going to pick up some stuff and then work, wherever I am, I'll be working. And then something else happened. I got a call. And I was like, okay, yeah, I haven't talked to this person in a while. And it was actually high on my list to talk to that person. It's never that long, max an hour, but sometimes it's a lot shorter. So I was like, okay, this one needs my help. Before I ended the call, someone else knocked on my door and wanted some attention too. And I could see the distraught while reading it. So straight after, I decided to take some action to help this person out. And after we got to talk for a while, okay, those were the next few hours. By that time, daylight was gone. Yep, daylight was gone. And here's the thing, when daylight is gone, I go into some sort of hibernation sleep. And I was like, I'm going to go some places, but let's be smart. Let's have some food first. And then later on, I'll go to the supermarket, get some groceries. I'll go to the place wherever I want to be to pick up stuff. And of course, by the time that I wanted to, other people got my attention. And the first place where I wanted to go to pick up stuff was closed. And I was like, okay. I'm not sure what happened afterwards, but I fell asleep. And I'm pretty sure it was before I actually had dinner. And that's what happens. It happens on my end that at some point I feel the fatigue just creeping up and then I better give into it. Because if I don't, I'm going to pay the price physically. And well, the last thing I want to be is in a lot of pain. So the other thing I don't want to do is smashing things around because of the lack of coordination. So I was watching something and then boop, lights out. Unfortunately, by the time that I did actually have dinner, the same thing kept happening over and over and over again. Not so much distractions, but the fatigue, yes. I had planned on joining a group training, which I like. And it was a free group training. And, well, lights were out. So by the time I actually was there was something else, which was called Duolingo, and Duolingo said, knock, 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 we want you to do your Spanish lesson today, which had to be done prior to midnight. So I was like, oh, that's only 1 or 2 minutes. Let's do it. And before I knew it, I had extra 15 minutes. Well, the group training never happened. I did do the Duolingo, and there we went again. I fell asleep. The one thing to make me fall asleep is do some Duolingo or something else, and then all of a sudden it's, I don't know, I'm staring at it and I'm like, oh, I've just run out of time. Yeah, that was because I got tired. So I probably did get some supplements and other stuff that I still needed to get. And like I said, then I was gone again. Well, just waking up, I realized, okay, I still need to post something. So I still know what I set out to do, which is getting that opt-in page out there. And I also want to post all the stuff that I recorded into Kajabi and see, you know, so the courses are ready and people can actually look at it. So it will be up and running till Friday if you want to see it. But after that, I'll take it down. And if you want to see it, then you need to have subscribed somewhere so I can offer you to actually keep watching the course over and over again if you want to. I've got some cool handouts, I can tell you. So it's pretty worthwhile. That's coming from me. Oh, that sounds so arrogant, but well, people have told me it's worthwhile, so it's going to be worthwhile. Anyway, what I did do, waking up, was I wrote this part, and I was like, this is about time. And I was like, okay, so what components are we talking about? Well, first of all, distractions. That's number one, and that's what happened to me. Well, it's not like I let it happen. It was like, okay, I need to talk to this person, and then I need to talk to the other. And number three was a friend, but, well, you know, we hadn't talked for a while. So I was like, yeah, I do want to talk to her and see what we can do together. So energy, I just talked about energy. And in my case, energy is such a huge component. It basically has to do with my system, as in my body. And well, I need more sleep than other people to make sure that my body can rest and heal again. So energy is not just the fatigue, physical fatigue. Energy is, of course, also the mental fatigue, the lack of flow. And that's the one thing that I've noticed around me when I'm talking to my clients. They just can't summon themselves to go do something. And that, of course, has to do with other things that have been scheduled during the day. So instead of working on that one thing that they need, they keep postponing it till they find a better moment. And of course, when you postpone it, the question is, are you ever going to do it again? So if we all combine those things, then we get uncertainty. What am I going to do when? And of course, that also is linked to why, because if you don't know your why, then, you know. And on top of that, I'm going to top that off with disappointment. So we are talking about a lack of belief in why they do it, in a lack of outcomes, lack of results. And, you know, I've been talking extensively about training the brain during the challenge. I called it the 3XM challenge. I don't like the word productivity very much, although it's a good word. I mean, when you've been productive, it's like, yay! But 3XM stands for motivation, mindset, and milestones. So lack of milestones is not going to work. Of course, I just discussed mindset. When you constantly do not do things, then your brain doesn't count on it anymore. And when you didn't have any incentives, well, that's when you get disappointed. So motivation is very important, and the lack of motivation, well, we just discussed that, right? Well, so what does help is consistency. And that was the first thing that actually, I looked at the clock and I was like, okay, I need to do this before 9 my time, which is midnight Pacific time. So that's the deadline that I've set myself. Also, I go out there every day, and I think that I go live more, or record live videos, let's put it that way, than I actually do posts. But I like to do it this way. And, you know, especially when I'm prepared, like writing things down on here or getting that framework done, that's, you know, that really gets me going. So the consistency of creating those things and also recording these videos, that's what, like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. Energy, I'm rested right now, and so it's way easier to get things going. But apart from that, there is of course the urgency. I need to do it now. No postponing. I mean, I'm rested. I know what I want to talk about, so, you know, let's go do it. And it would have been so disappointing if I hadn't done it. And it just, not doing it is actually not an option. So simple, it's as simple as that. Not doing it is not an option. So, of course, support always helps. And I know people watch the things I do on there. I do get comments. So that's a really immensely big boost. And then of course there's the why. I know why I want to do it. I know that I want to cause the ripple effect when it comes to people speaking up. But there's more to it when it comes to why. I mean, we have the short-term why and we have the long-term why. So the long-term is I want to be that role model, which actually also happens on the short term. Let's face it. And by being that role model, people actually see that it's worthwhile to speak up and speak out. And yesterday I got to become that role model, which was kind of cool. And they were like, why did you succeed and why didn't I succeed? Well, of course, it was succeeding to a degree because the people I called said they were going to do something, and of course they didn't. But, you know, the why is there. And the why is also like, yeah, but hang on. I'm talking this month about productivity, and I cannot just stop doing it. That doesn't make sense. So the why is also linked to how credible am I? And I want to be credible because I know what the importance is. And I'm not going to let myself down. No way that I'm going to do it. I mean, it's easy enough to be disappointed by others. So let's not disappoint ourselves. So all combined, here I am. You got a video, you got something to think about. There is going to be a nicely looking PDF, a little bit nicer than that one. So if you want that, then make sure that you write in the comments, handout. I know what I'm going to do later on. The good news is I have to go to the physical therapist, which means that I afterwards am going to go downtown to do some stuff. I also have my group coaching call straight after. So those hours are marked for productivity, and that's nice. And it will still be daylight, so that's good too. So yeah, this time around, I know what I'm going to do. And you know, the good thing is I will be doing it during daylight. So, and that gives that extra boost, that extra energy. I probably might be walking to go do some grocery shopping in a little bit, because by this time, and I've edited the video, so I also use a filter. I make sure it's the right format. And so by the time that I've edited it, uploaded it to both Instagram and to YouTube, supermarket will be open. I can get some fresh stuff, some food, and you know, I'm good to go again. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the amount of sleep that I've got. I probably should be able to go on straight till after the group coaching call, unless reality is telling me something different. And that means that I might get into trouble by the time that I've got the group coaching call, and that means lack of sleep. The good news is that I do know how to get my energy back up. The bad news is that if I am going to do a talk with one of the people straight after, that I might be very sleepy and I can only do it for so long. But we'll see, you know, it's about intention, the things that I want to do. So I'm already talking to you about my intention for the day. And the urgency, for me, it becomes more urgent than ever, because let's face it, I've had a month to actually set up that opt-in page. I haven't succeeded within that month. How come, one can ask, and I'm asking it myself, why? But the good news is that the why is actually because I was able to do it in another way. So I didn't feel that I needed to do it, because just like I said, just, you know, write down, hand out, and I'll know what you want. And I'll reach out to you. But I did do the frameworks, and compared to the previous 3 days, so the previous challenge, I made a new framework every day of the challenge. So that's kind of cool. So I've got so much stuff in there, and, you know, I'm excited to share it with you. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it with you, and that's my goal for the day. So first of all, make sure that this video is out there, but that's a duh, because that's what I do every day. Getting groceries is also a duh, because, you know, that's also something that I need to do every day. Going to the physical therapist is sort of a duh, because that's something I do several times a week. But it does happen that when I'm too tired, I do not go, and they know that when everything is throbbing, as in my heart is pounding and I can feel it literally everywhere, then I know that I won't be going. So what is the actual one thing that I need to do? For me, by this time, that is that landing page. But more importantly, I've got group coaching call, remember? So that's the one thing that I need to do. But after a challenge, there's always a limited amount of days to actually, you know, give the boost, get people to watch it. So that's the other thing. And figuring out what specifically I need to do, because I do have an inkling, but I don't have a specific list of things to do. That's going to be either my Achilles heel, or I'm going to get clarity. Remember, that's what works for us. And then I'll be getting it out there before March 1st. That's my 2 cents for today. Be sure to think about your reasons as to why time is working in your favor or against you. Let me know. And don't forget, comment, hand out. If you want to see more videos related to productivity, then go there, click on the link and go watch it.